Hello everyone. Welcome to the course of Internet of Things, in short IoT. In today's class, we are going to learn how an MQTT broker is used for IoT RFID project with a Raspberry Pi. So, in order to go to that, we need to see some of the few characteristics of this particular project, where for communication we will be going for an Wi-Fi connection, and we are for the processor we are going for an Harvard architecture CPU, and the local storage will be like 4 MB flash, and the power consumption will be like an through a battery or an a power cord or an adapter, which will be having to a minimum 1200 milliamps to 60 milliamps, and the functionality will be almost like an Arduino support or an Raspberry Pi support, and it will be costing us very much cheaper. So these are the basic characteristics of this project, where we are going to use an MQTT broker or MQTT protocol for utilizing an IoT RFID project. So what is this RFID? As we have seen in the previous videos, RFID is nothing but radio frequency identification, which uses the radio waves for data transfer, and this is wirelessly done. And as we know, this is an RFID tag which will be holding a 10-digit unique ID number. And when it is kept near the RFID reader, okay, with a short distance and through electromagnetic waves, the data present in this tag will be transferred to the reader, and through the reader, the data will be collected by the controller, and much more applications will be, or much more flow will be done according to the requirement of the application. Now, here for this particular IoT RFID project, we are using MQTT protocol, where MQTT stands for Message Queuing Telemetry Transport Protocol, which uses an lightweight publish subscribe model. So, this particular pattern is used like a publisher sends a message to an subscriber, in which the MQTT protocol stands as a broker or bridge between the publisher and the subscriber for sending and receiving the data. Now, the hardware, a basic hardware used for this IoT RFID project is like, obviously we need to have an RFID tag. RFID tag will be communicating with the RFID reader, and through serial communication, this RFID reader is communicated to it can be a Node MCU, Raspberry Pi, or an Arduino connected to an internet. So here, as per the block diagram, we are using a Node MCU ESP8266, which is connected over Wi-Fi, and this is powered through the 9 volts battery, and you have connected to a computer as well, in order to observe all the operations happening in a serial monitor. So this is the basic block diagram of an IoT RFID for this application what we have choose. Okay. And in order to build an MQTT server on this particular Raspberry Pi board, so we need to have like we need to have an IoT RFID which publishes a payload. Okay. And the Raspberry Pi MQTT broker receives the payload, and Raspberry Pi MQTT broker disseminates to all. Okay. Subscribe to all the subscribing objects and all those things. See, so here in this particular IoT RFID project, where we are using two modules, transmitting end and as well as the receiving end. And in order to build the MQTT server, I will be showing you. So see here, there is an RFID tag. This is what a completely transmitting end is looks like. Here we will be having an RFID tag and connected to an RFID and antenna, and the data will be transferred through RFID reader, and this reader reads the RFID data from this RFID tags and gives to the polling loop. So here, this particular polling loop is nothing but it's a transfer mechanism through which that particular data or the ID is goes to the MQTT payload. Okay, so this particular MQTT payload connects to the server and publish the data to through internet. Okay, so this particular internet Now, so here what we are doing, the tag is read by this reader through which the RFID gets detected, and the tag ID will be sent to the MQTT payload. Here comes the concept of a node MCU, which helps in transferring the data through Wi-Fi. Now, once the receiving end, receiving or the subscriber end, there will be an Raspberry Pi which will be connected with the help of an Mosquitto payload. So Mosquitto payload is nothing but the whenever you are using an MQTT server with respect to Raspberry Pi, here comes the concept of Mosquitto payload, which accepts the signal coming from the MQTT server. So as soon as the Wi-Fi receives the unique ID from the tag, okay, so this Mosquitto payload will be receiving that particular data, and a part of data or a copy of data will be going to this particular Mosquitto debug logger, and the data will be at the end will be publishing to the control subscriber. So this subscriber can be anybody. It can be an device, or it can be a mobile app or a web application or anything. Okay, so this is how a general MQTT server behaves in an IoT RFID platform. This is a complete data flow of this particular project.